I've always liked the early mornings at the small, family-run bakery on the edge of town. It's a squat little building, tucked between a vacant lot and a pawn shop that's seen better days, with a faded awning and a neon open sign that flickers even when it's off. I started working here part-time a few months ago, mostly to help out Mrs. Harrow after her husband passed. At 5 a.m., before the world stirs, the bakery is mine alone. The air smells of yeast and old wood. The ancient oven hums with a comforting drone, and the only light comes from the dim fluorescence above the counter. It's peaceful routine. Kneading dough, setting out trays, wiping down the glass display case. I've got my earbuds in, humming along to a playlist of old rock, completely unaware that this morning something is waiting for me. It starts small, so subtle I almost don't notice. As I'm pulling a tray of sourdough loaves from the oven, there's a faint creak from the back room, where we store extra flour and supplies. I pause, oven mitts still on, and listen. Nothing. Just the hum of the oven and the faint buzz of the lights. I chalk it up to the building settling. Old places like this groan all the time. I go back to my work, but there's a slight tightness in my chest, a whisper of unease I can't quite place. I shake it off. I've got a dozen tasks to finish before the first customers shuffle in at 6:30, and I'm not about to let a random noise derail me. But then, as I'm sweeping crumbs off the counter, I notice the smell. It's faint at first, layered under the comforting warmth of baked bread, a whiff of something damp like wet earth or rotting leaves. It's out of place here, where everything should smell of sugar and flour. I wrinkle my nose and glance around, half expecting to see a spill or a forgotten bag of trash. Nothing. The floor's clean, the bins are empty. I tell myself it's just my imagination, maybe a draft carrying something from outside. But the smell lingers, curling at the edges of my awareness. My rational mind insists it's nothing, but my gut twists a little tighter. I decide to check the back room just to be sure. The narrow hallway leading to it is dimly lit, with a single bulb that always seems on the verge of burning out. The creak comes again as I step inside, sharper this time, like a footstep on warped wood. I freeze, my hand on the light switch, my heart thudding a little faster. "Hello," I call, my voice sounding small in the cramped space. No answer, just the faint drip of a leaky faucet somewhere in the corner. I flick on the light, revealing stacks of flour sacks, a rusty shelving unit, and a small window high on the wall, smeared with grime. Everything looks normal, but that smell is stronger here, thick and cloying, like a forest after a storm. I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched, though there's no one, nothing here. I turn to leave, and that's when I see it. A small, tarnished brass key on the floor near the back wall. It's not one of ours. I know every key to this place by heart. This one is old, ornate, with intricate swirls etched into its bow. The kind of thing you'd see in an antique shop, not a dusty bakery storage room. I hesitate, then pick it up, turning it over in my hand. It's cold, unnaturally so, and heavier than it should be. I don't know why, but holding it sends a shiver down my spine. I should just toss it in the lost and found box under the counter, but something compels me to slip it into my apron pocket. It feels like a mistake the moment I do, but I can't explain why. Back in the front, I try to focus on prepping for the day, but the key weighs on me, a quiet intrusion I can't ignore. The bakery feels different now, though nothing has visibly changed. The shadows in the corners seem deeper, the hum of the oven more like a low growl. Every so often, I hear that creak again, fainter but persistent, like something shifting just out of sight. I keep glancing at the hallway to the back room, half expecting to see a shape there, but it's always empty. My hands shake slightly as I ice a batch of cinnamon rolls, and I curse myself for being so jumpy. It's just an old building, just a weird smell, just a key. But my instincts are screaming at me to leave, to lock up and come back later with someone else. I don't. I can't afford to lose this job, and besides, what would I even say? That I'm spooked by a noise and a smell? I'd sound ridiculous. As the morning wears on, the unease grows. The smell of damp earth doesn't fade. If anything, it's heavier, seeping into the cracks of the bakery like it's part of the walls. I swear I hear whispers now, too faint to make out, like voices carried on a breeze that isn't there. They seem to come from nowhere and everywhere, a murmur just below understanding. I turn off my music, thinking it's bleeding through my earbuds, but the sound persists, curling around me like smoke. I check the windows, all closed. No draft, no breeze. My rational mind scrambles for explanations. Maybe it's pipes or the ventilation system acting up. But deep down, I know it's not that. Something is here, unseen, and it's aware of me. I pull the key from my pocket again, staring at it under the counterlight. The etchings seem different now, though I can't say how. They twist in a way that makes my eyes ache, like they're moving if I look too long. I'm gripped by an urge to throw it away, to get it out of this place, but my fingers won't let go. Instead, I find myself walking back to the storage room, drawn by some pull I can't name. There's a small, locked cabinet in the corner, one I've never opened. Mrs. Harrow keeps old records in there, she said once, and I've never had reason to check. The keyhole is tiny, ornate, a perfect match for the brass key in my hand. My breath catches. I shouldn't do this. Every fiber of my being screams not to. But my hand moves anyway, trembling as I slide the key in. It fits with a soft, satisfying click. The cabinet swings open, revealing not papers or ledgers, but a small, carved wooden box, its surface etched with symbols I don't recognize. Spirals and jagged lines that seem to writhe in the dim light. The whispers grow louder the moment I touch it, a chorus of overlapping voices, urgent and unintelligible. The smell of wet earth is suffocating now, and the air feels thick like I'm breathing through a damp cloth. I want to slam the cabinet shut to run, but I'm frozen, staring at the box. Something inside it shifts, a faint scratching, like claws against wood. My heart hammers in my chest as I realize I've done something irreversible. I've woken something up. I don't know how long I stand there, paralyzed, before I hear the front bell jingle. Mrs. Harrow arriving for the day? The sound snaps me out of it, and I shove the box back into the cabinet, slamming it shut. The key won't turn to lock it again, no matter how hard I try, so I pocket it once more and hurry to the front, plastering on a smile. Mrs. Harrow doesn't notice anything wrong, chattering about the weather she ties on her apron. I nod along, but I'm barely listening. The whispers haven't stopped. They're quieter now, but still there, buzzing at the edge of my hearing. The smell lingers too, clinging to my clothes like a stain. I keep glancing at the hallway, expecting to see something, someone standing there. Nothing. Yet. The day drags on, and I go through the motions, serving customers, restocking trays, wiping down tables. But I'm not fully here. My mind keeps circling back to the box, to the key burning a hole in my pocket, to the feeling of eyes on me from every shadowed corner. By the time my shift ends, I'm a bundle of nerves, jumping at every sound. I tell Mrs. Harrow I'm not feeling well, half true, and head home, hoping distance will break whatever hold this has on me. It doesn't. At my apartment, the smell follows, faint but undeniable, seeping into my dreams that night. I see the box in my sleep, its carvings glowing, the scratching inside growing louder until it's a scream. I wake gasping, drenched in sweat, and find the key on my nightstand, though I swear I left it in my apron at the bakery. Days pass, and I can't shake it. The whispers grow clearer at night, forming words I don't understand, old and guttural, like a language buried by time. The smell is everywhere now, in my car, my clothes, my skin. I see shapes in my peripheral vision, tall and thin, gone when I turn to look. I stop sleeping, afraid of what I'll dream. I don't go back to the bakery for a week, calling in sick, but I know I can't avoid it forever. Whatever I let out by opening that cabinet, by turning that key, isn't bound to one place. It's with me, watching, waiting. When I finally return, driven by guilt and dwindling savings, the bakery feels like a tomb. Mrs. Harrow is cheerful as ever, oblivious. But I see it in the corners now, a darkness that wasn't there before, pooling like liquid shadow. The cabinet in the back is still unlocked, The box still inside. I don't touch it again, but I don't need to. I can feel it, a pulse of malice that syncs with my own heartbeat. Late in the day, when the shop is empty, I hear the scratching again. Not from the box, but from behind the walls, under the floor, everywhere. The whispers chant now, a rhythm that makes my head throb. I don't know what it wants, but I know it's ancient, tied to something forgotten, something that should have stayed buried. And I know I'm the one who called it back. I think about destroying the box, burning the key, but I'm terrified of what that might unleash. I think about telling someone, but who would believe me? I'm trapped, caught in a web. I spun myself with one innocent, stupid act. The bakery isn't safe anymore, but neither's anywhere else. Last night I saw a shadow outside my window. Too tall, too still, its edges blurring into the dark. It didn't move, but I felt its gaze, heavy and hungry. I don't know how much time I have or if there's a way out, but I do know this. Whatever I let loose, it's not done with me, and I'm not sure it ever will be.